When the towers fell on 9/11, I was the squad leader of a 9-man Ranger Assault Squad, America's premier direct action raid force. I also happened to be engaged to be married that December. And my mother-in-law-to-be was in the fight of her life against cancer. September 10th, she had had her first round of chemotherapy. And we watched the towers fall from her hospital bed, and I remember her saying, "Are you going to get involved in this?" To which I said, yes. She went on hospice care the day after that. And on September 17th, 2001, she had a day of clarity. And we called a justice of the peace over and got married in the living room of the house that Kelly grew up in. Her mom died 2 days later, and I deployed 8 days after that. And I eventually was able to make the phone call home after about 3 weeks. And my new bride, who's just lost her mother, answers the phone and she says, "I'm pregnant." To which I said, "Of course you are." 9 months later, I listened to my son being born in Seattle from a satellite phone in Bagram, Afghanistan. And as a guy who grew up without a dad in the picture, the last thing I ever wanted to be as a father was absent. And that's the first thing that I was. In the Cantigua Valley, the floor was 7,500 feet of elevation above sea level. We were climbing up ice chutes to clear towns and villages at 10 and 11,000 feet. So they had to drop 1 meal per man per day at the base of 2 valleys. And we had to send a patrol down every single day. 6 kilometers down, retrieve 1 meal per man per day, 7 kilometers back up to catch up to the company. Next day, 7 kilometers down, 8 kilometers back up. It was a miserable experience. After 30 days, I was down 30 pounds. We lost contact to the outside world. I lost hope. And as one of the senior men in the platoon, and the most seasoned who had been with the platoon for all of our rotations, I felt the weight of the world on my shoulders. I felt responsible for holding this platoon together while my family was falling apart. It is moments like that, when there are no more plays in the playbook, you've run all the plays that you know how to do, you got nothing left, that you simply have to persevere. Your endurance will no longer carry you through it. You have to find something else. You have to become someone else. Because after one of the most significant losses of this trip, a friend of mine that I had grown up with, J. Anthony Blessing, who was killed by a roadside bomb on November 14th, 2003, I'm here to tell you, I just wanted it to end. I didn't care if I was going to go home on my feet or in a box. I just wanted it to stop. And when you start compounding all of those losses and feel that sense of hopelessness, that is truly when it is time for you to persevere. That's when you know that you are no longer holding on and that it is now time to move on. You surrender what you cannot control and you identify what you can control so that you can make a choice. You choose to become your values, your creeds, your ethos, all the things that you say you are, you choose to become that in these moments. And it just doesn't happen in one moment. It happens moment after moment after moment. You choose to become unstoppable because that is what is needed from you. You will be transformed on the other side of perseverance. You might not feel whole immediately on the other side of perseverance. I have been in your seat before in a large organization. I did not feel super whole immediately, but you will feel whole eventually because you will have grown to become the person the situation calls for to achieve the goal that you're aiming for. ensuring that you meet your purpose. You will grow. You will change. On the other side of perseverance, you won't just be somebody who accomplished something, though you will accomplish things. You will become somebody who accomplishes things.